I'm Dustin.
Dustin, good to meet you.
Really good to meet you.
Fucking in front of me right fucking now!
Hello everyone, how's it going? Okay, so I'm sitting here downtown Vancouver at the library. You might have seen this library before actually. A lot of movies were famously shot here. So see if you recognize these photos. Pretty nice library, not gonna lie. But anyways, I'm just a few kilometers southwest of Vancouver's downtown Eastside. If you don't live here, you probably don't know what the downtown Eastside's all about, but that's basically Vancouver's not so nice area. The main problem with Vancouver's downtown Eastside is the drugs. That's at the core of everything. I'm not going down there to take advantage of them or to expose them or patronize them or anything like that. I used to be one of them. I used to be a crystal meth addict, and I used to live in a recovery home right in the heart of that whole area. So I'm not there to look down on them. I'm there to empathize with them and to share their stories, and in turn hopefully you guys get an entertaining YouTube video. It's not like an overly violent place. There's more dangerous places in the city than Vancouver's downtown east side. I think people are very friendly. There's a lot of people down there just with mental health problems, addiction problems, and they're very interesting and friendly people though for the most part. I want to highlight in this video, when it comes to drug crime, you could be down, like I said, I used to be a drug user. I used to be down there every once in a while to pick up or whatever. You can literally use on the sidewalk and a cop could be walking right past you and they will turn a blind eye. Basically, it's just, that's how it works down there. I didn't want to go down there and give them money. I didn't just want to enable their bad habits or anything. So I thought giving them a joint was something they'd appreciate, and then also something that, you know, can't get anyone into trouble. That's it. Again?
My name's Terrell and Shawn.
All right, and just what would be your impression? Sorry, it's all good. What would be your impression of the authorities and how they treat people down here as compared to anywhere else in the city?
I mean, personally, I've had over 300 run-ins with the law enforcement in a period of 3 to 4 years. And there was a guy in New Jersey who proved that the police were harassing him because he was stopped 30-something times in a matter of 3 years, and I've been stopped over 300 times. He was awarded over $100,000. Down here, if you have a pair of nail clippers and it's in the package, pretty much if you don't have the receipt for it, it's automatically stolen goods. We're in a different zone. This isn't a real society. This is an institution. This is a jail.
So hold on, can I get you off there? You're saying that police and enforcement is they're everywhere, but they're more intense down here because the impression I got is that they're extremely lenient on anything drug related.
On drugs, they're lenient because they've had the experience. And here in Canada, we know that the drugs are not as much of a criminal offense as they are more of a medical issue. And now you see that there's a lot of officers that are experienced in dealing with everyday drug use, so they're more lenient in that sense. But as far as the criminal mentality, basically, if you own a pencil, you got a weapon. You know what I mean? Everything is to be considered as what you could be criminally doing with it. So if I had a hammer and I was a construction worker, rather than saying I'm a construction worker with a hammer, I'm a guy with a hammer that could be used as a weapon.
Yeah, or probably stole a hammer off of a job site.
Well, it's oppressing because it basically puts you in a position where you always have to criminally think, in a sense where you have to consider what could they be thinking I could be doing with this, as opposed to what, like for instance, it's not illegal to own a pair of bolt cutters, but if you're caught with a pair of bolt cutters here, you're automatically they're taken away.
But don't you think the police should sort of take into consideration the area and take everything into context? Maybe it's kind of odd for someone to be down here with a pair of bolt cutters for a real reason.
No, that's not necessarily true, because there's no real such thing as an area that is particular to crime. It's the crime that is particular to the event in a particular point in time.
That's right. So you gotta give them the benefit of the doubt.
You gotta give the benefit of the doubt. So it's innocent until proven guilty is what I believe in. So I can have a pair of bolt cutters until you see me put that on a lock and break it. They're just a pair of bolt cutters. It's
yeah,
just
I
like
can
having a
find that,
knife.
yeah.
You're allowed to have a knife, but you know what I mean, up to 6 inches. But until you stab someone with it, it's not really a weapon. It's a tool.
Right, okay. And all right, what can you comment about just the general mentality of people around here? Just people who
The general
live down
mentality of people around here is we're pretty nonchalant when it comes
I think
to.
so too. There's more dangerous places in here. I find people have the wrong idea about here. Like they think this is a scary place, but I think Newton or Wally, for example, would be more terrifying to wander around at midnight.
Wally's more terrifying because
Violent crime, right?
there's violence. There's more violence, and it's not so much that. It's that you're without resources. You're in a situation where you have limited resources and there's nowhere to access anything.
So like here's like sort of like a drug user's haven.
It's not so much a drug user's haven. There's access to free meals and there's some shelters. Everything's funneled to the downtown east side. The downtown east side is designed for one purpose and one purpose only: to kill the weak and disable.
A lot of the way they try to explain the downtown east side and why cops are so lenient towards drug crimes is because they're saying it's an area they want to keep people safe, and it's for safety of drug users and all of that. Would you agree with that or not?
If I was in the downtown east side police department, I would get a crew of 4 guys. I would shut down every dealer in the street, and I would get rid of the fentanyl, and I would save lives. There's no reason why people across the street from the courthouse should be selling dope and getting away with it. Meanwhile, people are going to jail for 2 years for selling fentanyl, and they're selling it right in front of the fucking cop shop, and they're doing nothing about it. As far as I'm concerned, if someone's selling dope, they should just take the dope, step on it, and just tell them to walk away. Just take their dope.
Yeah,
That's it.
I can't argue with that for sure. And sorry, what's your name again?
My name's Terrell Shawn.
Right, great. And how long you been living down here?
I've been living down here for off and on for 16 years.
Oh man, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
What's your name?
Shawn Lynch.
Shawn. And I'm just sort of curious, do you live down here?
I'm I've been staying in Lonsdale.
Okay, but you frequent this area
Yes.
mainly for drugs, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, and sorry, what do you use?
Crystal meth.
Right, that's what I used to use for many years in my 20s, actually. I got out eventually, thankfully.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want to come down here and ask people about their experience and, you know, hopefully give some insight on the whole thing.
Right on.
So, like, did you find what you're looking for today?
Yes, I did.
It's not that hard down here, right?
Not at all, no.
What would you say about the general lifestyle down here, what it's like for the average person living down here?
I've lived I haven't stayed on the street. I stayed at the, I guess over at Princess in Hastings, shelter a couple times. It's quite decent. It's, a couple hard-boiled eggs in the morning.
Right.
And I've stayed there a few times. And over at the, right by the BC place there, another shelter there. Other than that, I think I've stayed out on the street maybe a couple times.
Okay.
And other than that, I normally stay up late or all night when I'm out here. So,
Right.
Other than that, I haven't really got onto the heroin or anything. So.
The heroin, yeah, that's something I never really got into. Meth always seemed to do it for me when I was on it, but it's still a very tough drug to quit. I think one of the reasons why crystal meth is so addicting is its price makes it super affordable to be addicted. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Yeah, no, I when I got onto crack, I ended up losing everything I owned. I sold it all and shit. So ever since I got up that, it was like I never really got back onto it with that kind of problem. But when I got into meth, I don't know, it's not as hard on me the money, but it kind of gets to my head sometimes. I've been kind of on my feet, kind of trying to restabilize.
So are you, in your mind, do you want to quit? Do you think you're going to quit someday? What's your whole idea on quitting, or you don't care?
I just need to find the right path to get me, more entertained with life versus anything that I'm, just bored about. I've been kind of wheeling a suitcase around lately, staying on the streets.
I saw you going by earlier. Yeah,
I'm looking to get a rental next month, maybe in the Kitsilano area. It looks like I might be able to afford it with one check, so I'm
that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I hope that works out for you.
It's a different area. It's a nicer, richer area.
Yeah. You mentioned boredom. I find that for me, when I was a user, the one big thing, it might seem silly, just boredom, but that's a serious problem if it's extreme enough. And for me, when I used meth, it cured my boredom. Anything I did seemed enjoyable. That's why I liked it. On top of it being cheap, it's just all together. It's a terrible drug, because it holds you back, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes, definitely. Not even to say to find something else for me to do.
Stop fucking my kid!
Basically where I'm at right now. Hey, what's your name? What's your name?
I'm Dustin.
Dustin. Good to meet you.
Really good to meet you.
Fucking in front of me right fucking now! You fucking disgusting piece of shit!
And that's it, man. That was more than enough. That was very good. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Right on, brother.
Yeah,
Hey,
you gave me some great answers.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
man. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
peace out.
Your mom's a fucking ugly fat bitch! Your dick is fucking just the right size to fit in it, no wonder!
Okay, that's pretty much it. I did have another guy, but towards the end he seemed like he was sort of regretting it, so I just didn't include that video. But the first guy, Terrell, he talked a lot about a lot of interesting things, and I agreed with him for the most part. I don't think the police down there are necessarily out to get the people that are, you know, struggling. I think they have a lot of issues too in dealing with the whole situation in that area, so I can kind of see both sides, but for the most part I pretty much agreed with him. A lot of the questions I was asking were more just me playing devil's advocate, trying to give him talking points. And then the second guy, Shawn, he was a really nice guy. In terms of addiction, he seemed a lot further into it than the first guy. He seemed like he was fairly functioning, Terrell. But you know, Shawn was having a rougher time, but I totally empathized with him and felt bad for him. But he had a good attitude, and he was just talking about crack and how when he started using crack, he lost everything financially. But then crystal meth, he said, is more of a toll on him mentally. So it was just, I don't know, kind of interesting to hear him talk about the different aspects of the two. But anyways, I you know, wish them both the best. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, I should have sort of acknowledged that there was a woman beside us screaming the entire time. I spoke with her before I interviewed those two guys, and she seemed pretty nice, and she just wasn't having a very good day. Let's just put it that way. So just wanted to explain that. I tried interviewing her, but she wasn't interested. It would have been cool, but anyways, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, leave a like if you enjoyed it. I did go out there and interview random people on the street, which is hard for me to do. I'm a bit of an introvert, but I'm trying to make interesting videos here, so I hope you appreciate that at least. Hope you have a great night.